Alrighty, guys. So it is 3:30 this Monday, November 17th, and I'm just about to get stopped out. There you go. So I was sitting in this trade for a while. I mean, watching this LM shift, half-hour shift at noon, or a like 3 o'clock, waiting for the reversal, and I kind of right on the call, but not quite on the timing here, right? So started off this whole thing on the way down. Looked to buy right at that little LM shift. It got promptly stopped out on that trade. It didn't work. And then when it gets a little bit lower, then it started reversing. Got on that thing. Got a nice trade out of it. Was up $5 on that trade. And just took a long trade here, but I thought it was going to actually move. And of course, I get stuck in that thing, twisting in the wind. Sitting through that thing right now when it starts moving higher. They just aggressively move my stop up here, so because it's at this point, you would expect a little bit more of a snapback move to the upside. It hasn't quite happened yet, so and that just starts getting the odds for a rotation down higher and higher. So that's why I still moved that stop a lot more aggressive than I probably should have. But that's how it goes. It's like MN here, run it a little bit higher than that M print, that three little edge, and then I'm thinking that we may see a rotation down here in end period. So three trades at 875, and I was just waiting for that. With this big move to the downside, I'm just holding out for a little bit of a snapback rally to the upside, but maybe it's not going to happen. So overall today, we started off this day on a range bound, and it's turned into a flat out down day. So there you go. That happens sometimes, and we have it. We have all the contingencies in place for it. So when we start taking out the 67.15 or 67.30s, that's when we started leaning towards the short side. They took it down to the 15s. It popped a little bit from there and bounced a little bit, and then we got this steady selling from there all the way down here to the lows. And now we are down here again at the spot where they can potentially push into this very much bear market, not bear market, but it's a pretty much correction territory when you start getting down there. So we're down there again. There we go. So much for that little strength, all little hope we had for this holding together. It is a Monday though, so we'll see if we get some strength here. I'm still holding out for a little bit of a bargain hunt kicking in, but you remember how Friday was when they turn it and the buying starts, it reverses very violently. But anyway, so there we are. So at this point, I was hoping they can close these single prints up to the 85s. That's kind of what's my idea for this buying opportunity or buying frenzy I went into here. But it is pretty volatile, so just had to trade it with a lot of caution. That it can still reverse, but watch this level here now, the 66, 60s here, 50s and 60s. That's going to be the area which has to hold if it's not gonna see some really significant selling. But they definitely it's like an orderly sell-off. I wouldn't call it a free-for-all sell-off. It's like an orderly sell-off. Bond market is not moving, so I'm thinking that this is just a flat-out rotation between the different sectors. So people are selling AI stocks, and of course, when the selling begins, the selling piles on, and there you go, and everyone freaks out, and everyone sells, and there you go. I've been buying some of that stuff on the way down. Obviously, it's timing the low is not the opportunity. So when it's some of the stocks I'm looking at start heading lower, I pick up a little bit here, a little bit there, at better prices. So that's kind of the way to play it. I think it's when this stuff is going on. That's when you get all those AI stocks on sale, and then now's your shot. And here we go. It's a little shakeout move there in end period. Let's see if they start moving this higher now. I may try another long trade later on here if it looks like they actually start retracing this or not. So, but if unless they can really trace up above that 67, 15, and 30s here, if it can get up above this area, they had to kind of get up above the 30s here uh, before I start thinking about the changing bias. Otherwise, I would start on the short side going into the overnight. So looking for short setups against the 80s, the 95s, the 15s up to that 30 level. But just be mindful, late in the day snapback rally, you don't want to sell that because then you want to buy that rally because that's going to be like a net bargain hunt rally going on. We'll see how that kicks in. But so far, it just seems to be very hard to get the traction, and it's like this last half hour has been absolutely sloppy. But here we're back up again. Let's see if they can get some traction on this. Looking at the Nasdaq and the bonds, the bond market is not moving, and that kind of gives me as the little bit of hope that this is just not a flat out flight to safety move. It's more an orderly rotation which is going on, which is fine. An orderly rotation is good. That gives you buying opportunities on the stocks you want to be in, if you're looking at that. Or if you're rotating with them, then you're buying other stocks, you know. The bond market just flat out range bound, started range bound in the overnight. Nasdaq also flat out to the downside, brutal on the downside, rough stuff. They kind of had to get up above this area, the 25,000, before I start getting excited about them again. But we'll see. They were down here all the way down to the 750s now, probed below it. And we started from the short side, looking to sell strength against that single print, 820s against the 920s. We're going to put one edge right here at the 910, 920s, and one edge here at the 950s for rotations down. And then, of course, one up here at the 25,000. But if they start snapping back here going into the close, I would not be selling into those. This is aftermarket stuff. I'm still holding out for a potential snapback rally, though it looks to me like we may not see it. It should have started by now, I think, if you're going to see some significant buying going on. But I mean, they've been churning it here. The last section here between 3 and 330 has been a knockdown drag at churn. And I would at this point look for a potential short against that 800 for rotations down. I'm starting to rule out that snapback is going to materialize. So if end periods start taking this lower, that's just staying on the short side. And then finally, so 3 trades on the ES, $8 on that one. That's about it for me today. And then looking at the oil and gold. Oops, there you have this guy. Yeah. So gold is to the downside, a big move to the downside, down to the 4,000s again. They finally broke that low. All right, they took out the support area here at the 40 to 50. And below that one, you see just absolutely open up right back to that attractor at 4,000. We're back to 4,000 on gold, trading that from the short side of the market to get started. But just be mindful, you are at support, so there's no reason to be aggressive on the short side right now, though. So stay on the short side, but be mindful that you are at an attractor area. So if they run down there, you're probably going to stall there around 4,000. So a little bounce off that low on gold, and on oil, just staying on the range bound side of things, not moving a whole lot. We'll see what happens. I'm going to roll this into the next expiration and going into tomorrow's trading. So we'll see what that looks like for tomorrow. But range bound oil, lean short on gold to get started. If there for some reason trades up above 40.50, you may want to go back to the more of a range bound setup, or maybe even retracement. The retracement trade I'm seeing right now on gold is going to be this guy right there at above the 4,030s. If it starts trading up above it, retracing back up to that 51s. All these single prints going to potentially be tested. All right, so start with a slight bias to the downside on gold, the range bound oil. Back to the ES and the Nasdaq, and let's see here. They're still churning. It's an end period that's not quite made up their minds where they're going to go. So wait for that last 10 minutes, and you'll see if you're going to get a sell-off into the close or if you're going to get a little bit of a pop. But I'm probably not going to trade that, getting a little bit late. We'll see. But anyway, we'll leave it there, guys, and I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. We'll go at this again. So you have a great evening, and I'll see you back then. Right, later.